Welcome to EspnLA. I'm Evan Sherrill, along with my co-host Jake Circus and Mr. Diaz. Today we're talking about football, NFL. We have two topics. We have the Super Bowl predictions, our playoff predictions as well, and the MVP race. Jake, would you like to start with our MVP predictions?
Yeah, I think the MVP is going to be Andrew Luck this year. Last year is Patrick Mahomes, the year before Tom Brady. Quarterbacks pretty much always win the MVP, and not a lot of repeats. So I don't think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes. I think defensive coordinators are going to get used to him. They have more film on him, but they're not going to let him just run around as long as he wants and just get a lot of time in the pocket. So I think Patrick Mahomes is going to have a little bit of a down year. I think the Colts are going to be really, really good this year. I love their GM. I love their owner. I love their defense, offensive line, tight end play, running backs. And, of course, remember, we always forget Andrew Luck. He was injured a couple years ago and then came back last year, won Comeback Player of the Year. Colts won 11 games and they locked into a wild card spot. I think Colts are going to be really, really good this year, and Andrew Luck is a huge part of that.
Diaz, what do you think?
I think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes again. I mean, the season that he had last year was just incredible with the team that he had around him. I mean, unfortunately lost in the AFC Championship game, but he was still able to put up numbers that most quarterbacks can really never do. Especially, and he has a lot of big weapons around him, like Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Travis Kelce. I know they lost Kareem Hunt during the season. They still have Damian Williams as a pretty decent running back.
I agree with Diaz. I believe that Patrick Mahomes will repeat just for the reason that Hunt, he is not on the team anymore, and he is more useful than Damian Williams is right now. So Damian Williams will get less playing time. He will get less carries, which means that they're going to rely on Patrick Mahomes more, and I believe he can deliver more as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's going to have a really, really bad year. Obviously, that Chiefs team is really, really good if their defense steps up, which it didn't last year. That's one of the reasons why they lost. Then, Patrick Mahomes, of course, is going to be fine. He has a great receiver in Tyreek Hill. I like Damian Williams. I don't think Kareem Hunt was that big of a difference maker to that team. But again, when we saw this with Lamar Jackson when he played the Chargers the second time last year. The first time he ran around as long as he wants because no one had film on him. The second time the Ravens played the Chargers in the playoffs, they got to prepare for him, and he couldn't do anything. I think the Ravens had 3 points at halftime and ended with less than 10 points by the time the game ended. So I think when defensive coordinators get more film on quarterbacks, the quarterback play for that individual starts to go down. And I just think Andrew Luck is, I think he's the third best quarterback in the league, and I love his team around him, and I just think he's going to take it this year because of those reasons.
Definitely, Diaz, do you agree, or do you have anything to rebuttal with?
I see your point, but it's just Patrick Mahomes is just ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying he's gonna be MVP, but another honorable mention should be Drew Brees.
Yeah,
definitely. And then next we have our playoff predictions as well as our Super Bowl predictions. I'll start with you, Jake. What do you think?
As far as the Super Bowl goes, I'm not going to just easily take the Patriots. They're probably going to be in there, but it's kind of boring just taking them. Obviously, Tom Brady, he is what he is. He's the GOAT. But I don't love their roster this year. I think that they losing Gronk, even though they're good without Gronk, I think not having him at all is a really big loss. And Trey Flowers on the defensive line, a couple other players they lost. Their offensive line has been banged up the last couple of years. And Tom Brady now under contract for 2 more years, so he has some security there. But I just don't see them getting past. Again, the Indianapolis Colts love their roster. They have a really, really good roster. They have no holes. Their defense is great, offense is great, especially even their special teams is great. Adam Vinatieri is somehow still in the league, and I think Andrew Luck's play this year is going to get them over the top. I have them defeating the Saints in the Super Bowl. I think the Saints have been the best team in the league probably ever since the middle of 2 seasons ago, up to 2017. I think they've been the best team in the league since then. Drew Brees, he's on top of the mountain right now, pretty in the talk of quarterbacks. Alvin Kamara is a stud. Their defense is good, and I think those two teams are going to meet in the Super Bowl.
Diaz, what do you think?
This is a hard one. This is a discussion where it can be anyone, especially the fact that we're playing in such a tough league where it can be anybody and out of nowhere to win the Super Bowl. I think it'll be. This is a bold prediction. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I think they'll bounce back after what they happened last year. People were expecting them to go this far, and I think they'll rebound. Their defense is strong. Joey Bosa is one of the best defensive line in football. Melvin Gordon is going to have another great year. Phillip Rivers has got a lot of good targets like Travis Benjamin, and I can go on and on.
So I would take a different prediction than both of you guys. I'm going to take the losers of the conference championships on each side. I'll have Rams Chiefs in that rematch that pretty much everyone in America would love to see after the 54-51 game last time. And I have the Chiefs overtaking the Rams just because of the fact that I believe the Rams defense is a little bit depleted. They lost to Ndamukong Suh, and they're just a little less chemistry-wise. They're not going to play as well as they did before. And I believe that another big thing was the penalties. The Chiefs had, I believe, more than 100 yards less given in penalties than the Rams had. And I believe that was one of the things that helped propel them to victory, as well as the turnover ratio. Because the Rams they forced 5 turnovers, and the Chiefs only forced 2. So if the Chiefs can overturn both of those things, I believe that they can take home the Super Bowl.
Yeah, one more thing about Andrew's point about the Chargers. I really like Phillip Rivers. I don't think Melvin Gordon makes that big of a difference to that team. Austin Eckler and Justin Jackson were really, really good last year when Melvin Gordon was hurt. Again, Keenan Allen, Travis Benjamin, yeah, we can go on and on about their weapons, their tight end play. Their offensive line is one of the best in the league, and we know what their defense can do with Joey Bosa. 2 really, really solid cornerbacks as well. Great pass rush. I think the Chargers are the 3rd best team in the AFC. I just don't see them getting past, Andrew Luck or even Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes.
Diaz, you have any final comments to add?
No.
And that's all the time we'll have for today. I'm Evan Sherrill with Jake Circus, Mr. Diaz on EspnLA.